Hi everybody, welcome to our channel, The Art of Learning Botany. I am Dr. Nirupama Das, retired Associate Professor in Botany, Department of Higher Education, Government of Odisha. Today the topic is pollination in plants, and in this session we will discuss what is pollination, why there is pollination in flowering plants, different types of pollination, cross pollination, self pollination, their advantages and disadvantages, and after this discussion we'll also discuss some question answers. So let me first define what is pollination and why that is pollination in flowering plant. Pollination is a key process in the sexual reproduction of flowering plant. Here, during this process, the male sex unit comes very closer to the female and it creates a favorable condition for them to unite to produce fruits and seeds. And that is why this is a very important process in the life cycle of all plants, all flowering plants, I mean. So due to this process, the plants produces fruits and seeds, and we get food grains, fruits and vegetables due to this process. And this creates also variability among the offspring in a population. So that's why it is considered as a forward force in evolution process. So let me define what is pollination. Pollination is a process of transfer of pollen grains from the matured anther to the stigma. It occurs in three ways. The first way is transfer of pollen grains from the matured anther to the stigma of the same flower or to the stigma of other flowers of the same plant or to the stigma of another flower of another plant belonging to the same species. So in this picture, it is very clear to you, and the first one is called as self-pollination or autogamy. The second one is geitonogamy, and third one is cross-pollination, allogamy or genogamy. Here, I want to clarify some points about this geitonogamy. According to some people, it seems to be a self-pollination, though here you can see the position of the flowers. So due to this distance, so it has to depends on external pollinating agent for pollination. That's why, though it seems to be self, but actually it is a cross-pollination. Broadly speaking, there are two types of pollination, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Let me define the self-pollination. Now coming to the self-pollination, it is otherwise known as inbreeding process or self-marriage. And now it always occurs in bisexual flowers. And in this pollination, there is no need of external pollinating agents. So here also the pollen grain chance of pollen grain loss is less and chance of contamination is less. Therefore, it ensures almost about 100% of fertilization. So this self pollination also has some plus points that it creates it is very much used in plant breeding and it creates homozygous plants. And here there is no need of development of any extra structures like the color of the flower or some peculiar condition of the petals. So in spite of all these plus points, the self pollination has some demerits or some minus point. So let me see this. Let me show these demerits. Now here, due to this is a inbreeding process, so it results in forming homozygous progenies. So after subsequent generations, this progeny becomes weak and there is less adaptability, less vitality and vigor and less existence and therefore ultimately they degenerate. However, some plants also show some adaptation for this self-pollination, and these adaptations are cleistogamy in cleistogamous flower, homogamy in homogamous flower. So let me coming to this cleistogamy. Here it occurs in cleistogamous flower where the flowers never open, and here the essential parts or fertile parts are completely wrapped by the accessory parts, and it is found in Commelina bengalensis. Here there are two types of flowers. Here the flowers are aerial and some are underground. The underground flower shows cleistogamy, and this aerial flower shows phasmoemy. And in phasmoemy you will find the flowers are fully open and the essential holes are fully exposed to outside. So coming to this homogamy, here the flowers are bisexual, and also the maturation of style and stigma occurs. The maturation of anther and stigma occurs at the same time. So due to that, there is some special features here for this self-pollination, that is in Mirabilis jalpa. When these anthers mature, the filaments recoil and it comes very closer to the stigma. There is dehiscence of anther and bursting of pollen grains to the stigma. So that happens in Mirabilis jalpa. So although the some plants, all bisexual self-pollination occurs in all bisexual flowers, it is not true, because some bisexual flowers also has some adaptation and contrivances, and due to that they opt for this cross-pollination. So these are the contrivances for cross-pollination, that is also called as outbreeding devices. And these are unisexuality, dicliny or dioicy, dichogamy, horcogamy, heterostyly, enantiostyly, and cell incompatibility. And now let me discuss unisexuality. In unisexuality, some flowers are shows unisexual condition, that is only stamens are present, pistils are absent. Here this is called as staminate flower. And in other condition, pistils are present, stamens are absent. So this is called as staminate flower. And this condition is called as dioicy, and this is otherwise known as dioecious unisexual flower, and it is found in dates, asparagus. Similarly, another condition is we find in cucurbita, it is unisexual monoecious plant. Coming to this androdiocy, here the plants has two types of flowers. Some flowers are staminate and others are bisexual, and that is called as androdiocy. And second one is in gynodiocy, some plants are the staminate pistillate flower and others are bisexual flowers, and this is called gynodiocy. So let us see the other adaptations found in the plant, that is dichogamy. In dichogamy, the development of it, the maturation time differs. Sometimes the anthers matures fast and earlier to the stigma, and therefore it is this condition is called as potandry. In some other condition, the stigma matures earlier to the anther, and that is called protogyny. And a potandry is found in salvia and clerodendron, and this protogyny is found in rosaceae, chenopodiaceae, and scrofulariaceae. So coming to horcogamy, here this is another condition. And here the condition is there are some physical structural barriers in between the anther and the stigma. So here the very good example here is calotropis, where we find the pollen grains are very attached to the pollen sac to form pollinia, and also the style is attached to the wall of the anther to form gynostagium. So due to these structural barriers, here the pollen grains are unable to reach to the receptive point of the stigma. It has to depend on outside factors or pollinating agent. So therefore it are for cross pollination. So coming to the heterostyly, this is a condition also found in some flower. Here the length of style differs. So depending on the length of the style, the heterostyly two types. One is distyly and tristyly. In distyly condition is found in Primula vulgaris, where you'll find the sometimes the length of style is more than and stigma is short. Length of style is more and stigma is short, the stamens are short, and that is called as the pinnate or L set. And sometimes the style is short and the stamens are long, and it is called as thromite. And here sometimes you'll find in this is found in Primula vulgaris, and this heterostyly another condition is tristyly condition. It is found in this some species of oxalis. Here in this condition you'll find there are three types of flowers in, and depending on the length of the style. In some flower, the style length is long style and medium stamens and short stamens, and in other flower, the medium style and long stamens and short stamens. In another flower, short style and medium and long stamens. So here occurrence of three types of flowers. Among from these flowers, one flower can pollinate the other two, but it cannot pollinate itself. So this condition is very interesting and rare condition. And let us coming to the another condition, that is the enantio style. Here the enantio style, the position of the flower is as per on the depends on the curvature of the style. Position of the flower depends on the curvature of style. I mean, either it is to the right side or to the left side. So when it is right side, it is called right-handed, and when it is left side, it is called left-handed. So this condition is also found in Hemodoraceae. Then cell incompatibility. Here, this is also a condition where the pollen cannot fertilize the same flower, and it is due to the internal condition of the flower. So let us see the advantages and disadvantages of cross pollination. So cross pollination creates variability in the offspring, and therefore it brings evolutionary changes. And besides that, the offspring shows more adaptability, more survival, and there is more vitality and vigor. Due to this cross pollination, the different types of flowers and fruits develops in by the horticulture department, and also it is very much used in plant breeding. So coming, although it has so many plus points, it has some demerits also. So in this, as this process depends on external factors, failure to this absence of such factors brings failure. So here also it requires more amount of pollen grains, because there is there is chance of loss of pollen grains because it has to travel a great distance. Another point is here, there is no here there is plants has to develop some extra structures, that is some bright color of the flower, some peculiarities to attract these pollinating agents. However, in spite of such disadvantages, this cross pollination is advanced to self pollination. Let us have a now in this session already we have discussed what is pollination, why there is pollination, types of pollination, and their advantage and disadvantage. And in the next session we'll discuss the pollinating factors or mode of pollination. Let us have a self-assessment or self-check, and here there are some questions and we have to go through these questions and to answer this question. Let us see, coming to this first assessment questions. So here write T for true and F for false statements in the following. First one is bisexual flowers show only self-pollination. It is false, because sometimes bisexual flowers also shows cross-pollination. Then geitonogamy produces homozygous offspring. It is true. Then third question, cleistoglamous flower open only in the morning. It is false, because cleistogamous flowers never open. Fourth question, all unisexual flowers cannot produce seeds. It is false, because unisexual pistillate flowers can produce seeds. Then fifth question, many plants capable of self-pollination can also be cross-pollinated. So this is true. So due to the structural barriers. Coming to the self-assessment number 2, here fill up the blanks with appropriate words. The maturation of stamens earlier than carpels is called potandry. Flowers that never open are called cleistogamous flower. Occurrence of some pistil and some bisexual in one plant is called gynodicy. Fourth one, pollinating agents are called pollinators. Then fifth one, flowers of calliotropis shows condition for cross-pollination, herpogamy. Then coming to the next assessment questions, let us see the questions here. Correct the statements without changing the underlined words if necessary. Here in Androaceae, the flowers of the plants are staminate. In Androaceae, the flowers are staminate and also some are bisexual. Second question, co-sexual flowers means the flowers are pistillate. Co-sexual flowers means the flowers are bisexual or hermaphrodite. In protogyny is a condition for geitonogamy. Protogyny is an adaptation for cross-pollination, allogamy or genogamy. Then fourth question, thromide flowers are long-styled in Primula vulgaris. Correct answer is pinnide flowers are long-styled in Primula vulgaris. Fifth question, in Commelina bengalensis, pollination is self-pollination due to homogamous condition of the flower. Answer is in Commelina bengalensis, pollination is self-pollination due to cleistogamous condition of the flower. Then let us see the next assessment. Write answers 1 in 2 lines. What do you mean by stylar dimorphism in flowers? Stylar dimorphism is a condition in which the style shows different length in the flowers of one species. Example, Primula vulgaris. Here, short styles condition that is thromite, and long style condition, that is pinnite. Then second question is, what do you mean by dichogamy? Dichogamy is also a condition which shows stamens mature earlier to the carpel is protandry, and carpels matures earlier to stamens is protogyny. Then third question, all clistogamous flowers do not show cross-pollination. Clistogamous flowers are bisexual and closed. They don't open at all, so there is no cross-pollination. And fourth question, why a bisexual flower shows cross-pollination although it has both sexual holes are functional? Give the reasons, no explanation. All bisexual flowers do not show self-pollination. They show some features like dichogamy, hercogamy, and stylar dimorphism and self-incompatibility. Fifth question, why self-pollination results in homozygous offspring? In self-pollination, it is an inbreeding process. There is no genetic mix-up with, and there is no chance of genetic mix-up and with the genes of other plants. So these are all the questions, and today we have discussed all these things about this pollination in flowering plant. I hope you like it. You share and subscribe. Thank you all for watching this video.